Yo, what up? So, I was kind of thinking of new content that I could post, and I kind of want to talk about living a drug-free lifestyle. Because I think it's important to incorporate a drug-free lifestyle, for people who might be struggling with substance abuse and mental health and emotional health issues. I really think that it's a personal choice, at least it was for me. I remember when I was like 18, I had basically gone through a certain situation, my mom died when I was 16, and from there my recreational drug use turned into a more of a habit, and I was really just justifying and the continued usage, because I didn't want to tell myself the truth about what was going on. I didn't want to possibly break the illusion that I had created for myself regarding my drug use, because it helped me cope, right? It helped me cope with the situation. But it didn't, like that's the thing. Like it really just kind of blanketed whatever was going on. But what you realize over time is that those blankets are superficial, and it's not lasting. You're not dealing with the issue. You're merely covering it up. I don't think it's a secret that, drug use is just a slippery slope kind of regardless. Like, I don't think like a lot of people go into it with the intention that like, oh, I'm struggling, I'm suffering, I'm going to use this to cope. No, like I think like sometimes like people use it like with friends, and they're trying to have a good time and this and that, but that's just the reality of drugs and any type of substance, is that that's a slippery slope, because it's like a psychotic substance. You don't really quite know what's kind of going on with it. Like there's a lot of like chemicals and stuff like that fuck with the brain chemistry and kind of creates superficial neural pathways or whatever, that once the drugs are gone, then all of a sudden the brain really doesn't know how to transmit like brain connections into life experiences, if that makes any sense, and so basically I'll give an example. Is like, so like if you're smoking pot all day and you're watching movies and all this, and it's going on for 6 months to a year, and all of a sudden like the pot usage, you stop smoking weed, and all of a sudden you're watching TV, but you really don't quite know how to process it. You don't really quite know how to like make connections and to whatever I'm watching, and and at least that's how it was for me, and I don't doubt that happens with other people as well. Sorry, I'm kind of getting distracted through notifications on my phone, but like I was like watching like movies, smoking weed and all this stuff. All of a sudden I stop, and I really don't know, like, oh, this person's feeling happy. I really don't know how to kind of relate to that. Like, I don't really quite feel happy, so it's kind of like a hard thing to sort of piece together like those kinds of simple things. Now that that kind of placement is no longer there to bridge, meaning like the weed was kind of like it was a bridge to some connections, and all of a sudden the bridge is gone. All of a sudden I really don't know how to sort of live life without it, and I kind of had made this realization that I wanted to stop using drugs, and so I thought that, like, well, maybe if I have like a community of people that are trying to do the same thing, I think it might be easier for me to stay drug free, so I basically just made a decision to join. I went to a few meetings and stuff like that, and almost 9 years later, I'm still clean, which is cool, and it's just been a really interesting journey, but yeah, I don't know, like, sometimes I don't think like with the proper, sometimes the proper information or the, some knowledge, can help, shed some light into the lifestyle a drug-free lifestyle contains and stuff like that. Basically, like, I would say the golden rule of staying clean is, if you go into a barber shop and you stay long enough, the chances are you'll get a haircut, meaning, like, if you are continually hanging around people that are getting high, the tendency to get high is more, because they might offer you some, you might just give into temptation one day and stuff like that, and so, like, it makes sense to hang around people that are, I think, that are getting clean. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, like, it's not realistic to think that you can't, like, have friends with people that use. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't really like sitting there for an extended period of time. I wouldn't really feel all that comfortable, and if we do things, like, I make sure, that, like, hey, if you're gonna smoke weed, just don't do it around me, or I'll leave or something, or whatever, so yeah, like, there's a lot of freedom in not using, there's a lot of, like, things like that I really, I don't know if I realized before I stopped, like, the long-term benefits that I get from not using, and basically I feel a lot stronger, like, mentally, and I feel, like, very proud of myself that I'm able to basically enjoy life as it is. Like, I don't look for a little extra zest on something that is already good as it is, I basically just, like, there's so much of life to enjoy that doesn't need an added kick, I really enjoy peace and quiet today. I really enjoy just connecting to people on a real level without there being any type of drug factor. It's so awesome, and I really hope that, by kind of making this video, I can possibly, inspire a few people to kind of, maybe make better life decisions, and stuff like that. You know, yeah, there's almost like, it almost sort of feels like a superpower at times, where, you know, I'm like, I don't feel like you know, a slave to my every desire that comes down my brain, you know. And it's cool to just kind of give myself that type of freedom, you know. So I do anticipate on elaborating more on this subject down the line, but for now I kind of want to make the videos a little short, to just kind of maybe you know, just break it up and stuff like that. But yeah, if you have anything you'd like to say or whatever, just don't hesitate to leave a comment, or you know, if you like what you saw, then I really appreciate a like on the video. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I promise I don't like making annoying content or anything like that. And you know, yeah, so appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of your day. See you later.